Hey, Shalom, Akim. Well, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakatham to everybody who's going to be tuning in. Right. Yeah, real quick before we start, my location is a little different today. There's a lot of stuff going on, so I switched up a little bit. So I'm in a place where I don't have my camera stand, so I'm gonna have my thing sitting. So I'm gonna be sitting today instead of standing. So just a little minor change.
All right, all good. Cool. All right, so let's get into it. Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And we out here, we're going to get right into it. We're going to start off with this precept, and then I think there's also one in Ephesians about redeeming the days, the times of the days are evil. And we titled the lesson, you got something?
Yeah, check the audio. The audio is not too clear.
On your end?
No, on your end. I don't know if you could hear me clearly, but yours is kind of faint.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm gonna close out all the other ones. Oh, incredible. All right, how about now? Is it better? Got it. All right. So as we were saying, we titled the lesson, you got to be very careful in these days. And let's actually start off with this precept, and then we'll go into it. This is 1 Corinthians 4:9. For I think that God has sent forth us the apostles last. Right. So who are the apostles? All right, because an apostle is one that's sent out, okay, or sent away, or sent out to do what? To go and preach the word of the Most High, right? How glad, how beautiful are the feet of those that bring glad tidings or good tidings, all right, which are the teachers of the gospel, right? So the Most High set forth us, the apostles, those that were sent out with the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, with the Holy Spirit, to go out and do what? As it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world. Right, we're made a spectacle unto the world, meaning that we are a gazing stock, so to speak. Meaning this is something that a lot of eyes are on, right? When you go to, for example, a concert or a stadium or a sports game, right? You have those that are called spectators, right? Because they're watching, they're looking at whatever's going on the field. So we're made a spectacle. All eyes are on us because what we're doing is different onto the world, right? Go on. And to angels and to men. Yeah, and the scriptures tell you that the angels even desire to look into the things that we do. Okay, it says and to what? And to men. So everybody's looking, all eyes are looking at what we're doing. Because what we're doing to men that are without the understanding, it's strange. Okay, but to those that know what we're doing, it's a beautiful thing. Okay, now I mentioned concerts, right? Something interesting that I noticed was I got to do some more research on this. But I was watching this clip from a concert that was done by Taylor Swift, one of her new I think it's called the Eras Tour or something like that. And in the beginning of it, I'm watching it. I mean, when I tell you that she threw out the devil horns, I forgot the name of the other name for it. She threw that thing out at minimum 150 times during that whole concert. It was like a about 3.5 hour concert where she was just singing her different songs from different albums, right? She every second, that's what she was doing. She be doing that, and I'm watching the joint, and I'm like, yo, something very weird is going on here, because the whole stadium was packed. She's the one in the center, and then in the spirit, I'm looking at her, I'm like, yo, she looks like a charmer. Like she's charming all of these people, literally. So she's like, and she's acting like she's getting energy, like she's feeding off of their energy, literally. And I'm watching shit. I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy. So she doing the devil horns, every 2 seconds. That's what she's doing. Her face, and then she's like, oh, like this energy, is like really, really good. Like I'm really loving this. It's really making me feel good. And then she's like, let me try something. So she points to the left, and then everybody on the left side starts screaming. Then she slowly brings it here, everybody starts screaming. Then she slowly brings it here, everybody starts screaming. Then she brings it up, and the whole stadium starts screaming. I'm like, this bitch is really chanting these people, because when you look at that, when the camera pans on to the actual audience, they look like they're in the trance. Like they're like, like they lost it. And I'm like, oh, these modern day concerts have to go back to some ancient ritual or something like that. Like the whole idea of having one person there who's like the idol, and everybody's like fixated on them. And then when they say like sing along, these people sing along. They do this, these people do this, right? That interaction I know it has to go back to some ritual or some olden ritualistic act or something to that effect. Because as I was watching the whole thing with a spiritual eye, and I'm like, yeah, there's definitely, because she would say certain things, but it would go over people's heads. You know, I think she had a song called Mastermind or something. And basically she was saying like, you know that I'm a mastermind, you know what I'm doing to you, but it's okay. You know, like basically she can openly say that. And I'm looking at this shit, I'm like, yo, because out of nowhere, she just started going, like, I mean, at first people knew about Taylor Swift, but out of nowhere, she just started going viral, you know, recently. Everywhere you go, they're playing her songs. People are singing. I mean, millions. Like, you get sold out stadiums back to back to back. And in one of her albums, this shit is a whole serpent. You know, it's a big ass black snake, all like designed on the stadium. She comes out wearing a design with just a whole snake on her, and I'm like, she's wearing red and black, and I'm looking at this shit like, wow, this is crazy. And I'm telling you, she threw out that devil horns like it was breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Every 2 seconds, that thing was going up, up, up. She would point it here, she would point it here. Then she would do some weird shit with her hands. Then she would pull back. And I'm looking the whole time. I'm looking at the way her body is moving, the way she's moving her head. She keeps doing these certain body movements, repeated. And I'm looking at this shit like, wow, man, it was crazy. But I was like, oh, okay. So I gotta do some research on that. But that's
wait,
crazy.
who's this we talking about?
Swift.
Who?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor Swift. That's
Taylor Swift.
some people believe that's Anton LaVey's daughter reincarnated, coming back.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if it's reincarnated, but it's something to that effect, some witchcraft shit where you got a lot of these celebrities who they do some whatever satanic shit they do, they come back in a different form. You know, if you type in Anton LaVey's daughter and you type in Taylor Swift, you're gonna be like, yo, that's the same person. You know, so it's like that whole witchcraft shit. They always do that. They always bring them up with the innocent kind of vibe. You know, everyone comes off, they play the music, the nice music. They're so innocent. Everybody wants to be a fan of them. And then once they become popular and everybody's on their case or whatever, then they start coming out with all this satanic shit. You know, it's always to build up that following before they can influence the people that they're following. So what you're talking about, even the presidents do that shit. Is the whole concept of inauguration, which is to conjure up spirits, right? Inaugurate. You know, so that is the same thing as all rituals going back to the Babylonian customs. You know, sex magic, all that shit is all part of that. You know, but you got it.
Yeah, and I just put up an article here. I haven't read it, but we're gonna read through it and see what it got for us in here. You know, because we know, and the spirit will let you know, right? It'll give you like a little hint, because whenever you see something that's being done here, that's like that popularized, the whole concept of like artists and this, that, and third, why they're held in such high esteem, you can get a feel for sign here has to have been just like a re-imitation of something in the past, because that's just how they do everything here. So let's start from the top and let's read that. See what it says on it. Decent information. All right, so we'll just read that, only that part. We'll start with the headline.
The headline is Why Modern Music Concerts Imitate Ancient Religious Rituals. And it says, whether you're aware of it or not, modern music concerts are in fact religious experiences based on the same structure as ancient rituals. They're supposed to give you similar sensations. You might not believe it, but your outlook on music concerts is about to change. And why and how modern music concerts imitate ancient religious rituals.
So the point is, I mean, like I said, I gotta do some more research. I'm sure there's some better articles in there on that. But yeah, for the most part, man, I'm looking at the joint and I'm like, saying, because we know like individuals like John Todd who have come out and exposed the things they do behind the scenes. You got some stuff? That's it. We're gonna get into it. Let me see. You see how they're throwing up the devil horns, right? They're throwing up the 666. Look at that. And this is really what you see at these different concerts, right? They throw up different hand signs and all of that, singing along, and they don't even know what most of the time what they're doing. A lot of them are in trance, and they go crazy. I mean, people go crazy at these concerts. You know, let's bring out whatever good information you got.
So it says massive crowd cheering at a concert. Masses need somebody to lead them. Political strikes have activists. Hindu worships have monks. Christian masses have priests, and ancient rituals had shamans. Shamans. Once there's somebody in the center of attention, people can direct their prayers to a physical human being.
And that's that idol. You know, because what they do is they idolize these artists. You know,
this worship of musicians become even more evident during concerts. Performing on stage, they're looking down at the crowd. The audience raise their hands high. Some would be willing to spend a fortune to simply touch their godlike idol.
But that's why you can have disgusting shit like I forgot what that I forgot what his name is, but I know the elder
Kevin Gates.
The video on it. Who?
Kevin Gates.
Kevin Gates, was that the dude who spit in the
yeah. That's
you don't have a dumbass pregnant woman go up on stage, lean back, and let this nigga spit into her mouth, bro. And then on another occasion, I think it was what's that chick's name? Sukuna, whatever her name is.
Sukiana?
Yeah, Sukiana, whatever. Yeah. That demon. Basically, I think there was a fan that went up on stage, and as disgusting as it is, she basically performed a quick oral session on her. Now I don't remember if it was her rear or if it was her genital part, but the fan basically went and licked that shit, and then came up like she just came from heaven, you know, all excited and shit, like she couldn't believe what just happened, you know. But this is the type of shit. Do you think anybody in their right mind would think that's okay to do? No, but they're fans. Fans. That whole concept of fans. You have a certain leader. It's like a cult, right? You have the leader and then you have the fans. They buy the merchandise. They'll do whatever it takes. Like that kind of shit, man. There's some spiritual, you know, sorceries that go on behind the scenes on that. Most definitely. You know, you see people, man. I went to the gym one time and you had this dude, and this shit really annoys me, man. They got the songs going on, and they like every 2 seconds they gotta do some stupid ass moves, mumbling some stupid shit, you know. And they go back to do whatever they're doing. I'm like, oh man, trust me, man. I want to freaking, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit it aggravates me to see stupid shit like that, you know. And I'm like, bro, what is wrong with these people, man? And it's always Jake. And the whole entire time on her performance, she had this fat black Jake. And I'm like, yo, why Jake always got to go embarrass us, man? Like, it's very disturbing, man. But the concept of concerts is definitely something ritualistic.
Yeah, you mentioned something about fans, right? Now, the word fans is short for fanatics. Okay. Now, when you go to the word fanatics or fanatic, it says insane person, right? It says mad, enthusiastic. All right. It says furious, mad. It says it goes to the word originally from the word phantom, which means a temple or shrine or a consecrated area. So it used to go into festivals and stuff like that. So it's into that kind of thing. You can look at it on the right hand side, which is more like being a fanatic for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And he goes to look at it from the left hand side of being a fanatic for Esau, Edom, and his ways. That's what you see a lot of people today, because regardless, you still have people in the ancient world who are fanatics of Yahushua, right? Of the gospel. They followed him and so on and so forth. Some had, you know, righteous intentions, right? Which is to receive the word, just like today. And you have others who are just following because of the power that Yahushua had and the ability to defeat him. So they became fans of Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? It says characterized by excessive enthusiasm, right? And that's what you see a lot with these concerts, all right, these so-called festivals and so on and so forth. So being a fan is normally associated to some type of secular celebration or festival, if that makes sense. So that's what fanatics really go back to. You know, you have that in even in sports right now, the baseball championship, baseball thing that's going on right now, postseason. All right, damn, I've been so out of tune with this shit. The postseason right now, I'll be seeing clips, and when somebody hits a home run, the whole entire stadium, stadium just erupts. You know that's is like an energy. You know they call it even in WWE, they call it the energy is palpable, meaning it's like it's so powerful you can feel it. Like people's energy, you can feel it. You know, and they harness energy off of that. What's this guy? Jay-Z. A few years ago, he would do a concert and he tell people put the hands up, and they'll be doing the pyramid hand. Yo, that's he's conjuring that energy. He's taking all that shit in. You know, Beyonce will go on stage. She be so-called performing, and all she's doing is rituals. You know, like the dance motion and all that shit goes back to Shiva, right? It goes back to all kinds of different satanic shit. But yeah, these people don't see like that. They think of it as art. Nah. It's all witchcraft, man. You know, you got it.
Done, and they make it seem harmless, but it's all everything. It's not what it seems. There's a meaning to everything that they do. And then she threw up the 666. When you do the three fingers with the thing in the middle. And I'm looking at this whole joint. I'm like, hey, Barakataya, how about Shami Al Shah, man? Because we're able to pick these things out like it's second nature. You can just see it and oh yeah, there's science going on here. But to everybody else, it's just like they're singing along. It's all good. They got the lights, they got these wristbands that have the lights on them. So all you see is different lights. Which that could be like in the ancient world where they either had those candles or whatever it is. But I know that you just get that feeling that this goes back to some ritualistic stuff because music is vibrations. When you take King Saul, for example, when he had that evil spirit upon him, they went and looked for David to come and play the harp that would soothe him and that would get the evil spirit off of him. So everything has an opposite. If you're able to use music to get an evil spirit off of somebody, you can use music to put an evil spirit on somebody. Okay? So when they put these lyrics together, they put these catchy beats and they do all these things, they put enchantments on them. And when you listen to it, if the spirit of the Lord is not with you, here it is, you get all up into it. You get all up into it. That's the fires on the bottom. And that's exactly what it is that they're doing to these people. And these people don't see it. They don't see it. Gross darkness the people, as it says in Isaiah, I believe the 60th chapter. And then ultimately, like you said, this is on a lower level because this is where like entertainment. And that's why bread and circuses is such a very crucial part of a lot of these societies. Because they put enchantments in all of these things to get people fully immersed in them. And with that, they can constantly distract you. Because that's the job of these people, is to distract the people from what's actually going on in the real world today. And people typically don't blow up until they sell out or they do something to that effect. And all of a sudden they just famous, they're selling out this is, and that's why they say they're sold out. Tickets are sold out, this is sold out. What else is sold out? But that's the times we're living in, man. So they're doing this on this level. Esau is doing it on a much higher level. With everything that's going on with in the East and all the things that are going on around the world, you got to pay attention to what's happening over there in the East, but also pay attention to everything else that's happening. Because typically, when something major has everybody else's attention, there's always something else going on. They're always multitasking, doing something here, something there.
Doc, you look at that? So it's basically talking about a guy who does concerts and stuff, and said our performers are a form of self-hypnosis.
Let's bring that up.
You want to say it?
Yeah.
There's another article. The title is "How is a concert like a ritual?" So it's basically this guy saying that how he performs his concerts, and he says, "My performances are a form of self-hypnosis by executing a premeditated series of bodily movements in conjunction with certain sounds."
So now let's pause, right? When you watch a concert, do you ever see somebody on stage, an actor, just standing there like this, and they're just singing? and they're just performing. No. Whether it's Travis Scott or it's ASAP Rocky or whoever it is, they're moving left, right. They're jumping around. They're moving their heads. They're doing some stupid move. It looks like it's just a dance, right? But if you've noticed, these dances, they have very specific ways of moving. You know, the Harlem Shake, the Nene, the Dougie, like all these weird ass things. You're like, where the hell do you come up with these things? And it's not like just any old dance. There's certain particular ones that just go viral, and everybody's doing it. So you see them running on stage, they're jumping around, they doing the hands, like, yo, everybody get into it. They're doing something with that.
When you look at the Nene, right? You see the motion that they do is they're basically the one hand up, the one as above so below. That's exactly what the Baphomet the Baphomet poses as, right? Yep. And when you look at it, after that whole trend came out, that's when you start to see this push on children and being all that, accepting that gender neutral shit. It became a thing. I remember this back in like 2015, 2016, the whole thing. I'm like, yo, what's going on? You go on vacation for 2 months, you come back and there's a new trend. It's like, what's up? You know, they got the Pokemon Go shit. They got all kinds of different weirdo shit that just popped up out of nowhere. Within those 3-4 years, the transition between Obama and Trump, those years, it was like Obama's second term, Trump's first term, type of 8 years right there. Man, that shit was like a lot of stuff started coming out. You know, and we're seeing the end result of those things that was coming out back then. And we were back there was telling people, you know, that, hey, this is what they're saying by 2020. This is what they're going to be doing by 2021. It was all a game psychologically. You know, you start to see political correctness become a thing for today, because now the next narrative is going to be, oh, well, you're saying this, you believe this, so now we're going to come against you type shit. You know, things that were happening 9 years ago is now playing a role now exactly as it was doing 9 years ago. But this time the energy is different. Like, people were saying so-called anti-Semitic shit 9 years ago, but now if you say it, it's like, oh, whoa, same exact shit. You know, but it's all confusion. Those performances are part of the distractions of Satan using Esau Edom to get these people in that cloud of darkness. You know, it's literally a cloud that sits on top of them because they can't see anything wrong with it. You know, they're literally blinded by it. They can't see it. You can't, bro. I'm telling you, we used to be in that same situation, but we used to see things different. You know, but so you can imagine these people now and what they do. To them, it's cool. It's like whatever. You know, you got Lil Nas X, right? Look what he's doing now, right? So it's like, yo, this shit is not even cool no more. You got what's the other guy? Lil Uzi Vert, right? The performances, their names, you know, the vibration, Tekashi, right? All that weirdo energy, you're seeing the result of it now. You know, but you got it.
Yeah, man. That's what. And when you look at, like you were saying about the Nene, they got one hand up, one hand down, but they also got the knees bent. They got the feet together and the knees bent. And that's like when you look at the Baphomet, it's sitting with like the legs crossed, just like that. You know? So they do that and they know exactly what they're doing. And for some reason, everybody wants to do it. Hit the Nene, every 2 seconds. And that's the same thing with twerking. You know? The second the camera comes on and there's a woman there, you know what she's gonna do. The second they hype her up, she's gonna turn around, she's gonna arch her back, and she's gonna do that, even if she don't know how to. You know, so there's definitely a lot of you know, this is the land of enchantments. Okay, that's what this is. America is the land of enchantments. Go on.
Continuing, I bring myself into a trance. Trance sounds so dramatic. It isn't though. It's just the means the thinking mind steps back. I can honestly say that the best or most true version of myself expresses itself when I'm performing, because the mind gets out of the driver's seat and something else takes over.
The mind gets out of the driver's seat and something else takes over. And I know they were saying that a lot of these celebrities, they have alter egos, like what's her name, Beyonce and Sasha Fierce, and Eminem, what's his name, Marshall and Slim Shady. I think his actual name is Marshall Mathers, and his alter ego is Slim Shady. And so he sings. Now here's the thing, and this shows you that it's a high level of witchcraft, because they tell you literally exactly what is going on, and people just never catch on. Eminem made a song called My Darling, and he's having a conversation, so-called conversation with Satan, about the agreement that he made and how he got played and how it went wrong for him. Everybody else, they just think of it as a song. This chick, Doja Cat, came out and made a song called Demon. And it's literally talking about just demonic shit, and people are bumping to that. J. Cole said, damn, in one of his songs, I forgot what it was, either No Role Models or Love Yours or something like that. But he said something about demons, you know, like basically, if it comes to me, I'll let you know. But basically, it's not fun anymore, you know, having all them demons coming to you and shit. He said something along those lines. It's not fun anymore. But he just said it like casually, like he's just rapping along with it. But remember, they're limited on what they can say. But at the same time, it's gonna go over people's heads. You know, it's like somebody who's been kidnapped and they're walking in public with their kidnapper and they're trying to show you signs that they've been kidnapped, but the kidnapper doesn't care because nobody's gonna pick up on it. They're just gonna think that, yo, yeah, haha, yeah, that's funny, you know, that kind of thing. You know, but he tells you that. Eminem, he tells you that, you know, about how Slim Shady's crazy and he did this and that. Shady made me, you know, that's what he said. So when they go on stage, really the ones that these people are really fall for and are like, you know, fans of are really those alter egos, those other spirits. And it's very simple, right? Because one example is what's this chick? This chick, the Witch of Endor. What she did is a light example of that. She made her body a medium. So that's the same thing that they're able to do. It. They just make their body a medium to allow the spirit to enter them, and then they go on and do the performance. And after that, they just come back to themselves. You know, so sometimes they do a lot of things and they're like, yo, what the hell is going on? They go into the sunken place, the demon takes over, and after that, they come back up. And that's why a lot of them take a lot of pills and drugs, wear all these shades, because they messed up. You know? There's more on that? All right.
I'm then allowed to move in sync with that wonderful flow I mentioned above. No fear, no worries, elegance. Being this version of myself is much more fun than being my everyday persona.
Yeah, because then if that was the case, a lot of them would be catching stage fright. You know, they get on stage and see all these people, then they freeze. But once they start getting into it, they activate, they call that spirit, that demon, you know, and then they get into it. Go on.
The way I see it, me putting a trance state on the display facilities, some sort of shift in the audience. Let me read that again. The way I see it, me putting a trance state on display facilitates some sort of shift in the audience. If they wanted, that is. One could speculate that me acting as a conduit allows members of the audience to come in contact with their own conduitness.
You throw it out of them, right?
Maybe this happens on a small scale, maybe on a big scale. Some people will come up to me after a show and say, that was fun. My dance moves probably are a bit funny looking. Continuing, that's good. Humor is a powerful spirit to evoke, a powerful gateway into something bigger. ... That
goes right over people's heads, right? Yo, you guys are just conspiracy theories and all that. Well, I mean, if you're under a trance, of course you ain't gonna believe that you're under a trance. Yo, you're under a spell right now. No, I'm not. Well, the reason you say you're not is because you are. You know, they ain't gonna see it. It's like having something on your face. You can't see if you have something on your face. Somebody else got to tell you, hey, there's something on your forehead. How would you see it? Even though it's on your forehead. See? That's on that?
I think that's also part of the reason why these devils change the vibration of music. Like when I was doing some research, when you listen to Apple Music, Spotify, all these different platforms that they promote people to listen to music on, they change the frequency. So I believe the proper frequency to have a sound spirit is 434 hertz, if I'm not mistaken. ESO when it switched it and did the opposite, I forget exactly what number they switch it up to, but that basically is the frequency that they put you on for basically mind control and stuff like that. So when you're under a spell, right? When you're under that music spell, you notice a lot of music that people listen to nowadays, it's just catchy based off of the beat, right? The beat is where they get you. It's something known as a hook, right? That's the part where people always want to sing and stuff like that. That's the part that gets you into the song, right? But it's all programmed programmed, all right, to have an impact on your mind and on your spirit ultimately. Okay, because it's this all the shit they do is created to have a population of people who are in such despair and careless, right? Because you're in such a good state of mind that you don't really care too much about resisting anything that you might be opposed to, right? And ultimately, people know that hey, this shit is not good for me, but it's been normalized. You see what I'm saying? It's the cool thing to do. It's cool to watch somebody on TV do some satanic shit, and because everybody's talking about it and it seems cool, you want to join in and do that too. That's the influence. So little did you know that those small little, oh, I'm gonna like this picture right here. Oh, I'm gonna like this video. Oh, I'm gonna go to this concert. I'm gonna go watch this movie. I'm gonna go put this music on. I'm gonna dance to this because everyone is doing it. I'm gonna drink this liquor here, you know, because everyone is doing it. Slowly but surely, it engages into your subconscious, and that's when you get taken over. So next thing you know, you're investing. You're buying the shit. Well, you think in your mind, this is normal. I'm just buying it. I'm not really into it. I'm just buying it. Yeah, that's the beginning stages. You see, you have to have a strong resistance towards evil. Predominantly, that's just what it is, right? Scriptures talk about loving the good and hating the evil, all right? And we live in a world that's predominantly evil. Everything is based on Satanism, okay? Everything is based on Satanism. This whole country was built on Satanism. So that you can't say, oh, this is good and this is bad. Everything here is evil, except it's truth. You know, and that's what makes it hard for people to walk this walk. You know, but all in all, I just wanted to say that the vibrations actually matter because that's what conjures up these spirits and so on and so forth. You can get into a trance by listening to a certain type of music. They affect your emotions, okay, and so on and so forth. Man, it's a lot. It's a lot. But hey, as the days go by, through the spirit, we're gonna be unraveling all these things. You know, but you got it.
Gun, yeah. And that's why it's important to you. Sometimes you gotta look these things up because you'll fall prey because of ignorance. Because you don't understand what they're doing and why they're doing it that way. And it may seem weird, but they bypass your defenses with the distractions, and then you just put it down like it's nothing. You know, they have this thing called quiet weapons for quiet wars or something like that, silent weapons for quiet wars, something like that. Yeah, where it says that they pretty much, so the metaphor is a gun, right? But what they do is the gunpowder or the bullet. Yeah, the gunpowder is it's not actual gunpowder. It's information. It's data. The gun itself is like a computerized system or whatever, right? And the bullet are situations that they shoot at people. So really, when they shoot you with this quiet weapon, you actually don't feel like you know a real bullet hit you. But that's how they change and prime people all through our society. Okay, so they'll shoot you with different situations, and people know and feel that something is off, but they can't tell what they're being hit with. Okay, so now let's get that. Let's finish in Corinthians, and then let's jump to that. And that's why the scriptures are so important, because they are the guiding light. Okay, the Lord used that to open up our eyes, to renew our minds. So now we came out of that. So we know what that is like. We're from the outside looking in. We know what it looks like on the inside, and we know what it looks like on the outside. Carry on. We did? Okay, now that's good. Let's jump to Isaiah 60.
This is Isaiah 60 and 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
Now, what's something about darkness? Darkness, when there's darkness, what's the first thing people look for? Light. When there's darkness, people are afraid, right? Because they can't see. And when they can't see, they're not able to receive information as to what's happening around them. And so because of that, every sound is scary. Every smell is scary. Every touch is scary because you don't know what's going on. It's almost like you're blinded. You don't have direction. So when there's darkness, people are lacking information. They're unable to get the full picture. You know, they can't see. So gross darkness covering the people. Who's ultimately putting that gross darkness over the people? Esau, Edom. Okay, he's blinding them, though they're wide open. Their eyes are wide open, right? Like there's a I think it's a series or a series of movies called Eyes Wide Shut, right? Eyes Wide Shut. So what Esau has done is he's been able to your eyes are open, but your mind it's been covered in darkness, and the Lord let it be so, pursuant to Isaiah the 6th chapter as well, that their eyes are not going to be open spiritually for them to see and to repent and to convert and then be healed. That's why a lot of people are under this trance, and when you tell them it sounds like you're speaking foreign words to them. But this is reality. This is the truth. And now it's becoming more and more apparent because what happens is Esau got a bag over your head and he's leading you somewhere. And eventually he's going to take the bag off, but you're going to realize that you're not in a good place. You're in a slaughterhouse. And we've been trying to warn you about that for decades. Okay? But the time is coming. If you don't want to hear the words, you're going to feel the action. That was in there?
But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
And that's the elect. Okay, that starts with the elect. So now let's go to Psalm 64, because as we were saying, them studying all of these things, to be able to look, you don't just get up one day and you know how all of these mechanisms work. These devils had to study ancient sorceries, ancient witchcraft. I mean, they had to go into all of these things. Do you think that when Esau goes and he digs up these archaeological sites, he goes into these old libraries, like some contents from the Library of Alexandria and all these different, ancient forms of information? What do you think he does with that? Obviously they study them. Now, when I say that, do I mean that Jacob Rothschild is sitting there reading 200,000 books a day? No, because Jacob Rothschild himself is not the one who's doing this. He has priests. Okay, he has priests on the left-hand side that are doing these things for him. So when they say we need to get this, that, and the third done, you have priests that do the conjuring up of these things, and of course they partake in the ritual, but they do the conjuring up of these things. So I forgot what movie it was, but I think there was a demon. Yes. It was Nefarious. And I think Nefarious, he said, it's the same spirits, it's the same demons, they're just known by different names over the different generations. Okay, it's the same spirits that they're calling upon, they just go by different names. Because spirits don't age, they don't die. So when they call them demons, the same demons the Babylonians called, guess what? Those demons were called again by the Greeks. They were called again by the Romans, just by different names. And now today, they're calling the same demons. But they'll make it look like it's nice. Oh, Halloween is for the kids. Well, Halloween is not new. That goes back to ancient rituals.
I got a perfect precept for that. All right, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 12. It says, "Stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth."
What's that, Isaiah 47?
What's that?
Isaiah 47?
Isaiah 47. God. It says, "And with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth." So, like you were saying, going back to all these ancient pagan philosophies, even pagan ancient civilizations, they had the same exact things, just called by different names, right? Bacchus will be called Dionysus, right? Jupiter, Zeus, exactly. All these different names, right? Even today, those same Roman names are back here again today, but they're known as planets. Okay, they're known as planets like Mercury, Venus, Mars. All these are names of Roman gods, right? They're not really in the heavens, but that's the mindset. Again, they're in the heavens, so they're worshipped as gods. That's why they have those names there. When you go into it, all their names actually mean something in modern day society today. It's the same shit like Serapis Christus, going back to Cesare Borgia, going back to Nimrod, Tammuz, Semiramis, all these different characters, these different so-called gods and goddesses, which they don't mean shit, okay? But this is what people do. They promote these things. They worship these things. Well, the Lord is saying what? Stand now, because all these enchantments ain't going to save Babylon, okay? All you putting all your energy into AI is not going to save Babylon. Okay, because AI is a new form of demonic entities, okay, that they're going to be putting out there, all right, in the so-called new age. Because so-called this age is passing, it's pretty much over once Esau is out, you see. But in their mind, they think they're going to continue forever, right? I believe that's in the book of Psalm, where it says that their inward thought is that their habitation shall continue forever, So it says here, wherein thou thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shall be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. But it's not going to be. All right. So you're not going to profit, neither are you going to prevail. Okay. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Okay, so your nuclear physicists, your astronomers, all right, your so-called NASA space people and all this different shit. Guess what? They ain't gonna be able to tell you anything that you're gonna be able to help quell your pain and anxiety of the return of our Lord and the destruction of this place. Okay, I believe it was yesterday. I saw an article. I didn't read it, but I saw the headline, and it was saying something about how NASA has seen something in outer space and they're terrified. Something to that effect. I said, oh, okay, so we get in there. We get in there with all the things that's going on the earth right now. Again, on earth as it is in heaven. So if the Lord is showing us the signs now, that means the signs are being sent from the Heavenly Father. You know what I'm saying? So if they're looking up in the heavens, they're seeing things that's like, whoa, okay, what's going on here? Is this why these things are happening on the earth right now? Maybe these prophets are they onto something, you know? But ultimately the prophecies are onto everything. It says, um, behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame, there shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. And that's ultimately when America, Babylon the Great is destroyed. That's exactly what the scene is going to be like. Okay? It's just going to be just like that. And why? Because of the wickedness that America has always engaged in, especially now. Okay, look what's going on around the world, just like how we started with this whole witchcraft energy that they got going on. Those are examples of why the Lord is going to destroy this place. You know, so we're not wrong for highlighting the wrong in this society, but they're going to turn it and make it against us. But that's okay. All right, judgment still going to reign supreme anyway. All right, but you got it.
God, and what that's saying is that the kind of fire that the Lord is going to bring ain't going to be the kind of fire that you sit before. You know, like that kind. It ain't that kind of fire. This is the kind of fire that destroys everything in its path. All right, that's
Yeah,
that's gonna. Huh?
no campfire with freaking marshmallows and shit.
Yeah, ain't no campfire marshmallows. You're gonna be the marshmallows, you know, and you're gonna get roasted, you know. But it goes to emphasize the anger, you know, and the rage that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is bringing. So that's gonna be the emphasis of that. Just like what the Lord did to ancient Egypt and all those different societies, you know, that He crumbled. All right. So now let's go back to that. I think we're in Psalm 54 now, right? All right.
Psalm 64:1. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy.
That's the spirit that we're in, right? Because at the end of the day, we have confidence and power in the Lord. That power is not really of us. It's really from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So we make our supplication to the Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahushai, that He may preserve, or they may preserve us from the hands of the wicked. Because right now, if the Lord left us, we'd be completely done, all of us. Okay? Because Esau has an advantage over us. Yeah, on the physical level, because he has his military and he has all those carnal weapons that if he wanted to, he can just send out heat-seeking drones and just they could find your ass and just eliminate you. And that's the end of that. But why haven't they been able to do that? They haven't been able to do that because of us. Okay, because the prophets are here, because the spirit of the Lord is upon us. Okay, so keep going.
Verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
So, right, ultimately, who are the wicked? Pursuant to Malachi 1 and 3. The wicked are Esau, Edom. They are the wicked. But more specifically, the ones we got to worry about are the elite, because they're the ones who have been given power in their wickedness. And they have secret councils pursuant to Micah, the 2nd chapter. Okay? So they have, matter of fact, hold here, let's go to Micah 2 and 1 real quick to deal with that. So they have these secret councils, and in these secret councils, they have agendas that they want to fulfill. You know, and that those agendas involve the oppression, the suppression, the killing, the murder, the torture of Israelites and really everybody else, because they want to play the role of God. They have a God complex pursuant to 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. Whatever.
Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their dead, upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of the hand.
Right. So who are those in today's day and age? That's these modern elites. And the elites, you know, you can say that the heads right now, which are really calling most of the shots, are these Edomites, because the world is given into their hands, right? Pursuant to Job 9 and 20. But They're not just. It's not just, the elites are not just Edomites. You have elites of these other nations as well, and a lot of them are form these secret societies, and they have so many different names and so many. You can think of it like a layered circle, like an onion, and they have layers on top of layers on top of layers on top of layers, and these are like security firewalls, so to speak. So you may have the Freemasons. Within the Freemasons, you have the outer shell, which are those that think they're Masons, and then you have the inner shell, which are those that are really about it. But they make the outer ones think that they're the real deal, and they have no idea what's really going on. Then they tell you, okay, now you've upgraded, you can enter the real one, but that's really not the real one. You see? So they got rings on top of rings. The Council of Foreign Relations, the Jesuits, the Rosicrucians, the this, the that. They got so many different groups that form. But they have the head of all these different groups. So they have some Ammonites, okay, some Moabites here. So they all come together. But at the end of the day, those that are really ultimately calling the shots because of finances is these Edomite elites, these Rothschild families, Rockefellers, these rich banking families. Guess what? They didn't just pop up on the scene. Their names might have been slightly different, but if you're able to trace their line back, you'll realize that they go back to those rich families in the past, you know, the Medicis and so on and so forth, all the way back in the Renaissance period. They have generational wealth. Okay, so they're the ones who devise iniquities upon their bed. Meaning, does that mean that Jacob Rothschild wakes up, he slides his feet into his bunny slippers, and then he takes out his notepad and then he starts to jot iniquities? Iniquity number 1 for today. Number 2, be on their beds, meaning behind closed doors. Okay, in their what they call the different meetings they have, the Bilderberg meetings, the Bohemian Grove meetings that they be having in the woods and shit. Okay, and then when the morning is light, meaning when it's daytime, you know, then they come out and enact these things. You've never heard Jacob Rothschild come out and say, I, Jacob Rothschild, am making a decree that everybody's going to need to pay congestion tax down there in New York City. He doesn't do that. Okay, they have their meetings. They say, okay, this is what we need to happen, and that's it. They let the rest of those that are under them do that. So the ones that are under them are going to go, okay, we need to organize this. We need to organize this. Get the head of all the media stations. Get the head of the CDC. Get the head of these people right here, and let them know this is the plan. They all work together. Okay. The medical side of things don't do things on their own, because if the medical side is going to do something, the media needs to be working with them, so they make sure that they're promoting the right things. They're producing good pharmaceutical drugs. The media is the one getting the people to go and get them. You know, so they're doing all these things. They work together to bring about certain narratives that they push upon the people. And all these elites do is they say, all right, this is what we want to happen. Make it happen. Then the different thinking tanks come together and say, all right, what's the best way to go about this? Should we do it through disease warfare? Should we do it through what kind of way? Should we electricity, power outages? Like, what's the best? Oh, maybe let's start with this and then wear them out a bit, give them a little bit of time, and then let's lead into this. And then throw in an economic collapse. And then do all, you know, so that's what they do. And they devise these things and then they bring it to light because they have the power to. All right. Back in Psalm 64, yep.
Psalm 64:3. Who whet their tongue like a sword.
Now the word whet, W-H-E-T, means to sharpen. Okay, so they sharpen their tongue like a sword. Go on.
And bend their bows to shoot their arrows. Even better words. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Rightfully so, right? Because we're in the land of bitterness, America. Okay, which goes back to what's that? Mara, right? Right, Aharon? Mara, which is bitter. Go on.
Suddenly they shoot at him.
And the perfect are the Israelites. Okay, but these devils, their main target are the elect. They don't gotta worry. Look, when you have let's say a swordsmith, right? When a swordsmith has a sword and he's real, you know, he's smelting it, you know, he's hitting out the impurities. Guess what? He doesn't focus on the part that's already straight. He already got that done. He's focusing on the part that's crooked. The part that's where he wants to make it straight. So he's gonna keep focusing on that part, right? These elites already have the rest of these Israelites under their thumb. They're not worried about them. Those are not the ones that are going to be in opposition to them. The ones that are going to be in opposition are us and those that are taking heed. So that's where their focus is. Go on.
And fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil manner.
Yeah. So this in an evil manner. This one comes up with an idea. This one comes up with an idea. You know how the scriptures say a wise man will hear and skillfully add to a wise saying? Well, these elites, they do that on the left-hand side. Maybe we can eliminate this right here. Well, that wouldn't be smart to do at this very point in time. We should, in fact, actually start with the information. Target that first, create some scenarios, and then let's go ahead and do this. Okay? Go on.
They commune of laying snares.
Laying snares. A snare is a trap. So when they get together and they commune, they talk amongst each other and they come up with plans, it's to lay traps. Lay traps for who? The masses of the people, the public. So they'll lay a trap. They'll say, hey, this is the new thing out. Look, when you have a trap, you have every time you lay a trap, you, number one, hide it, you disguise it, and number two, you set bait. So if you have a trap, like maybe it's a ditch, you're gonna cover that ditch up, right? And then you're gonna try to lead this person to walk down that path. That's how it works when you set a trap. You don't just set a trap and hope for the best. You set it, number one, in a place where it's more likely to catch your prey. You set it in a way where you can convince your prey to come that way, and then you would either hide it or disguise it. Or else if they see the trap, they ain't gonna fall into it. So that's what they do. They set traps. Go on.
They commune of laying snares privily.
They commune of laying snares privily, meaning privately, meaning in secret. All right? They're not gonna come out and tell you that, hey, we set this up as a hoax because we wanted you to take this, that, and the third. Why the hell would they do that? Right? Go on.
They say, who shall see them?
Yeah. Go on. Because who's going to expose them? And even if somebody tried to, they would eliminate them, or it would be like us. They make it to where people in there, we're telling, look, we're hitting the nail right on the head. But they're in the mindset that, well, we've conditioned most people to just think these guys are crazy or not even listen to them, just walk by them. So the threat is right here, but people are so ignorant that they're just going to walk right by. Which one of them is going to stop and say, hey, you took the Rothschilds? Oh, yeah? Let's band up and let's go get them. They're not going to do that. So they're like, all right.
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
So there you go. They search out iniquity. So how do they search out these iniquities? Like I mentioned, a part of that is those archaeological. They have a lot of artifacts that have been preserved going back to the ancient world. Okay? And they find out, look, the things that they expose openly, like the Rosetta Stone, which I think it had 3 languages on there, and that's how they were able to actually decipher it, because it was 3 languages saying the same thing. So they were able to say, oh, okay, so if this is said in Greek, if we understand this language, and that means we can use this language to interpret this previous language that was here. But the things that they expose to you, when you go and read like Wikipedia, or you read some of these ancient Britannica, I think it's Britannica. So all these ancient historical books, a lot of the information they got from there is from artifacts that they found of different inscriptions, different sarcophagus, some writings on a sarcophagus somewhere, or some stele, and then they'll read that. Like you have the Moabite stone, they'll be, oh, okay, so this gave us context as to what was happening at this time. Then you have the black obelisk, right? Oh, okay, so that tells us a bit about during the time of Jehu and this time. So they're able to gain information of the past. Shalom. Gain information of the past from reading these different artifacts, right? Do you think that that's going to stop there? Or that they're going to expose everything that they found? Of course not. So those iniquities that they search out, because remember, their heart is after wickedness. So how did the people in the past use sorceries to control their people? Because it's nothing new. So what can we learn from what they did in the past? And then they take that, and Esau takes a bit from here, a bit from here, a bit from here. That's why they're called Nineveh and Assyria and Babylon and Egypt and Sodom. They got a little bit of everything. And then they conjure up those spirits. Oh, okay, let's get this here, let's get this here. And then they do what they do today. And then they say, we're not going to call her Ashereth. We're not going to call her Semiramis. We're not going to call him Tammuz or Nimrod. Hell no. Don't call him Santa Claus. We're gonna call him, whatever other names they come up with. You know, let's call him Peter Pan.
Jesus Christ.
And Jesus Christ. We'll call him Jesus Christ. That's what they're gonna do. Because they're gonna say if we openly come out and tell you we're doing witchcraft, everybody's gonna have their guard up. So we're gonna make it like put it in cartoon form, you know, make it appealing to the kids, you know, give that jingle bells, you know. You know, a lot of these Disney, a lot of the Disney stories, if you actually look up the origin of Disney stories, they were actually very brutal and horrific and very like ritualistic. But today they modernized it and made it seem like it's a friendly story. But look at a story like Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel found a witch. They got caught in a witch's house, and she freaking wanted to stuff them in the oven and bake them and eat them. And you notice in a lot of these Disney movies, there are a lot of witches, right? They got a lot of magic and sorceries and witches and witchcraft because the original version of it is more explicit. But today they try to modernize it, you know, to make it more for kids. But there's subliminal messages in there. Pocahontas, yeah.
That was cool.
True story.
Talking, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, little.
They're about to celebrate 100 years right now, Disney. In those 100 years, Disney making subliminal suggestions in the movie. I mean, it's a whole illusion.
That's right.
Hey, and that's a beautiful point. But I got a quick precept here to kind of like make sense out of what you said. Not to make sense out of what you said, but to add on to what you said. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. It says, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light." Okay, so that's why I used to see this a lot when you see an athlete, you know, or somebody that you know is sold out, and they do all these performances and all that, and then they come out and they say, "Hey, I just want to say I thank God, you know, for helping me out. You know, I thank my mother, you know, that kind of shit." And I sit there and I'm like, first of all, you're a known profound ass fucking Edomite who is into Satanism. How the hell are you saying God and all this? Like, you're just trying to throw people off or something, you know? And that's part of the trick. Okay, they're supposed to come out as humble. They're supposed to come out as holy. They're supposed to come out as, we're here to help you. You know, that's that transforming themselves into an angel of light. Remember 2021 or 2022, the governor of New York, she came out, she was saying that, you know, oh, this Vanessa is from God. This is God's Vanessa, right? And we need our apostles to go out there and spread the word. You know, don't worry about the other people who don't want to take it. You know, but you people who are listening to God, go ahead and take it. You know, that's how they get people. A lot of people, oh yeah, you know, I'm a church guy, I'm a church goer. You know, I don't want to, you know, they follow all that shit. But the scriptures tell you, no, don't marvel. Okay, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Okay, so a lot of these things that they research, you know, going back to Psalm 64, right, is that I believe I now was reading it. The word iniquities, they search out iniquities, right? So what do they do? Normally, when they go into these researches, when they go into these archaeological excavations, they're not researching for the better good of humanity. They're researching to find what can we use, all right, to make sure we can we maintain our control over the people, and how can we further destroy the Israelites. That's what those are the two things. If we can further destroy the Israelites and keep them down, our rulership is going to stay intact, because they know the prophecies that no other nation comes after Esau Edom, Esau Edom's rulership except the Israelites. So in his mind, if we can make sure that these Israelites don't know who they are and we can suppress them, then we're going to stay in rulership forever. You see? So that's why they have their plans, their AI plans, all these different things, because in their mind they're going to rule forever, you know, because Israel is destroyed. But now the prophets are on the scene, and we're bringing out all this information in the scriptures, and we're also letting them know that just like how the scripture says, and just like how Yahweh Bashim Yahushua delivered us in past empires, he's going to do the same, but this time is going to be much, much greater, the greatest that's ever happened before in human history. Okay, that's why in the scriptures tell you that this deliverance is not going to be like the one in Egypt. All right, they're going to say, you know, they've been saying Egypt, 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 but this time it's going to be that the Lord delivered his children from the land of the north. Okay, how's he going to do that? By way of what? Destroying America, Babylon the Great, just as his prophets have said. Okay, by thermonuclear destruction, and in the midst of that, delivered his elect, just like the scriptures have said and the prophets have said, by way of his son coming back down through a gigantic UFO to deliver his elect. Okay, these are the things that's we're leading to. Okay, but I just want to bring that out regarding these devils making themselves, bringing out themselves, transform themselves into angels of light, messengers of light. They push this idea of, we're all inclusive. We're all together. We care for you and all these different things. But yet, if you really go into it and you scrutinize it, it's all Satanism, man. It's all to trip you up, like Psalm 64, but you got it.
That's right. That's right. Keep going.
Psalm 64:6. They search our iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
Diligent search. Okay, so when they do these things, they don't, Jake, you get tired halfway. Whatever, man. That's this ain't working out. Nah, they accomplish a diligent search. Okay, go on.
Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Yeah, the inward thought of every one of them. See, Jacob Rothschild ain't thinking about how fast Cardi B can twerk, or what's going on here with Nicki Minaj. You don't give a damn about that. Okay, their inward thought is deep. They're thinking about how they're gonna bring their plans to fruition. How they gonna successfully, with how close they are now, get everybody to take that gonna take that that's what they're thinking about. They're thinking about when is a good time to do it, what's gonna be the best way to start it. Once it started, how do they get the people that are pushing out the opposition news? They're thinking of, these are the things that they're thinking about. Okay, they're thinking way ahead. They're thinking about how they can think for you. You see, because what they're dealing with is world domination. And like I've given this example before, it's difficult to try and get even the people, everybody on your block to do what you want them to do. There's a saying that you can deceive you can deceive some of the people all the time, and you can deceive all of the people some of the time, but you cannot deceive all of the people all of the time. So they're trying to deceive all of the people. They're trying to get world domination. That's every country. That's different governments. That's different people. That's a heavy task. Okay, so they're not worried about the things that you're worried about. But as it says, the inward thought is deep, right? What?
But God shall shoot at them with an arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly shall they be wounded.
Yeah, suddenly. So it's going to look like they're doing good. It's going to look like, damn, Lord, when are you going to stop these devils? Because they're really going in. They got this, they got that, they're doing this, Lord, you just going to let them do this? But he's going to suddenly shoot at them. Okay? When he takes the remote control out of their hands, then it's game over. Go on.
So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
Which we're seeing now. And that's with them revealing themselves. You have some people that were in there, they saw some information, and the Lord put the spirit on them to come out and then reveal, what's actually going on behind the scenes, what they call whistleblowers. Okay? Go on.
All that see them shall.
Real quick, hey, the Lord even got it to the point where, sometimes not even these insiders, these devils come out outright and just say the craziest shit, and you just be sitting there like, wait, you mean to tell me this nigga just spilled all the beans and ain't nobody gonna say nothing about that? Yo, he just said by 2030, he said in a conference, and then people started clapping. There was one thing that happened. Albert Bourla, okay, the Pfizer CEO, he came out. He said in the year 2018 or 2019, they had a goal that by the year 2021, they would have at least by the year 2024, 2025, they would have at least depopulated the entire world by 90%. And then this is outright in the open. He was sitting next to what's his name? And they sit next to each other. And he said by 2025 we should have the world population down by at least 90%. He said we're on a good way there. He said, and in the year 2021, I see that we're pretty much almost there to our goal. Everybody's like, yeah, that's right, hey, clapping their hands and shit. And I'm like, Wait, what? Like, he just said some shit that we used to say that was considered a conspiracy theory, and he just came out and just said it just like that. Well, we can go into details with that for you if you need the details. But damn, did anyone hear that? You see, so now it's to the point where they're doing it out of pride because they know nobody's paying attention. So the Lord is putting that spirit of pride on them to come out and just boast and say the most craziest shit. You know, they tell you their plans. We're trying to shift from organic, which is created by the Most High, to inorganic, which is created by Esau Edom. Not just man, but Esau Edom. You see, because you have all these different empires. Ain't nobody had the idea to create something that's inorganic. Like, I'm just going to do away with nature. I'm just going to kill off all the animals and then create 3D printed meat. Why? Why? Oh, so we can save the planet, save the animals, so we don't have to kill any more animals. So, okay, so you're going to kill the animals, so there's no more animals to say that, oh, now that there's no more animals, now we don't have to kill animals. So now we just going to eat 3D printed meat? That's the way these devils think, man. You know, now, oh, we're going to depopulate the earth because we got to save the planet. Wait a minute. The earth has to be in tandem with the people, because if you kill the people off, the earth, the trees, they need carbon dioxide. They need the people. They need people to cultivate the land, do all these different things. You can't break the balance of nature and then say you're trying to save the planet. That's why the judgment is written in Revelation. The Lord is going to destroy them that destroyed the earth. Okay, destroying the people, all this war that's going on over there, it's going to come on top of their head because it happened under your rulership, Esau. All that bloodshed that's happening is happening under your rulership, man. You're going to have to answer for that. Whether they're Israelites or not, you're going to have to answer for that, man. Okay, and that's the times that we're coming in. That's why the scripture said that you're going to be struck down with the iron weapon. Okay, the Lord is going to come down. He's going to strike you down for all the bloodshed, the crimes against humanity, and the crimes against his people. You're in trouble, man. You sitting out there in the land of Israel talking all that shit, anti this, anti that. The Lord is about to see you soon. All you whole ass niggas over there. It's coming.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What?
Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider of his doing.
Yeah, because it's going to be unavoidable. When the Lord does, you know, the things the Lord is going to bring, you know, like they have the saying, this is the hand of God. You got like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level hand of God. Like, it's going to be impossible to deny the works of the Lord. All right, go ahead.
Verse 10. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him.
And who are the righteous? The righteous are the elect. Okay? And really, the whole nation of Israel were made to be righteous. But right now, it's dealing with the elect. Okay? Because right now, you can think of the elect as the representation of that, because the rest of them are going to have to come back through the elect. Okay? Go on.
And all the upright in heart shall glory.
And we know that that's not talking about Esau, because the scriptures say that he's not up. The spirit that's with him, in him, is not upright in him. Okay? But we're going to glory, because ultimately, what's the Lord going to do? Regardless of all the efforts that these devils have, the Lord is going to bring it all down in a very, very, very superb way. Okay? In a way that is always going to be remembered all throughout history. Just like he took down ancient Egypt, he's going to take down this modern day Egypt. And as it says in Jeremiah, I think either 14 to 16, that it's no longer going to be mentioned that the Lord delivered us out of the land of Egypt, but how the Lord delivered us out of the land of the north. Can I jump to jump to Isaiah 47 and start at the top. I know we went through that. We're going to start at the top here.
This was something that came to my mind like a couple of days ago. You gotta remember, at one point Esau wasn't in power. At one point, this guy was in the mountains, like it says in Job, writing and things like that. So for us, we should definitely believe in the prophecy that he can go down. It's like, remember, he was taken down before. Remember, during the time of David, he had him in captivity. So it's not out of the Lord's power to put this man down. It's been done before. So it's like we should definitely have faith that he's gonna go down again.
All these different empires, no matter how big they were.
Wasn't he the top dog at that time? What happened? He's the top dog now, so he's gonna fall again.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, at some point it was thought to be madness, you know, to speak against certain empires. And guess what? They went down. Yep. Yep. But guess what? Because the scriptures tell you in Daniel, that 4th chapter, the Most High ruleth in the kingdoms of men. He sets over it who he wants.
I got a quick precept here to back up that point. Okay. This is the book of Job, chapter 20, and verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All right. If a brother could, you know what? Let me get it real quick. I want to back it up with another precept in Habakkuk. Okay, because that's the times that we're in. Okay, Esau Edom is in the fullness of his sufficiency. He's thinking he has an agenda that could go on till Agenda 2030. Well, that's not going to happen. Okay, you are at the fullness of your sufficiency. At the appointed time that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshua is giving you, that's the fullness of your sufficiency. It's not about anything you can do about it. Okay, let's get this in the book of Habakkuk real quick. Or if I'm not, Babak Shah, you can get Habakkuk 2 and 8 real quick for me? 2 and 8. Real quick. All right, so while you get that, I'm going to read that again. All right, Job chapter 20 and verse 22, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Okay, every hand of the wicked is talking about who? The word wicked, all right, I believe is the word Imal, okay, yep. Which means what? Laborers, right? The so-called working class citizens, which is at this point 90% of the population are working class. Okay, the top so-called 1%, the actual 1%, they have 99% of the wealth of the world. Okay, 99%. And the 99% of the population is left only 1% of the world's wealth to fight over. Okay, so that's the disparity that we're talking about here. But again, ultimately, right, the Lord said what? He's going to what? He's going to come upon. He's going to put the spirit on these people to come upon these so-called rich class people. Okay, these elites, so-called, right? So we're entering into the end of the rulership. You got that, Baruch?
This is Habakkuk 2 and 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee.
There you go. So that's them, what, the wicked coming upon him. Because it's not just, he's not coming up, Esau's not sending shit up, all right, in just America alone or in Africa alone. He's doing it around the world. He's oppressing the inhabitants of this earth. Okay? And that's why I believe it's in Jeremiah, if I'm not mistaken, it talks about the what is it? Damn, it's slipping my mind right now. But the hammer of the earth has been broken down. All right, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, and these nations are going to rejoice. Okay, same thing in Isaiah 14. Okay, is this the man that weakeneth the nations? We're seeing that, and that's all being done by way of who? The prophets. We're the ones who are exposing these devils and showing the identity, true identity, according to the Heavenly Father's laws. Okay, so let's finish it off in Job. It says, verse 23, Job 20:23, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Okay, so that means what? That sounds like a lot of failed attempts of this so-called New World Order right there. You know, that's what it sounds like to me, which I believe Klaus Schwab already came out and admitted. He said that this narrative is not working, it's not picking up. You know, I believe 2 weeks ago or so, the World Economic Forum came out and said that these nations who are part of the Hudat Treaty, he said you got to pick up the pace. Okay, we have to accelerate because our narrative is kind of dying off right now. We need to pick up the pace. You know, that means what? That means a lot more disasters, right? A lot more things that's going to attract people's emotions, and that they could come down with their so-called emergency relief. All right. So continue in verse 24. It says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Right? That's what? Ultimately, when Yahushua gets back. Okay? But ultimately, America, Babylon the Great will be destroyed. Israel will be destroyed. Okay? By fire. Okay? In the midst of all this war that's happening, whoever's a part of the war, you're gonna begin a taste of that fire, man. Okay? Predominantly America, Babylon the Great. All right? And that's pretty much it on that. I'm gonna end it off on that. So you got it.
All right.
Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Daughter of Babylon is not talking about the ancient Babylon. All right. So real quick, can we get Psalm 137? believe it's Psalms 137. It's talking about the daughter of Babylon, which is America. Okay, that's the code name for America in the scriptures. Sometimes it's referred to as Babylon, but you got to read the context, right? What is it saying concerning this Babylon, and then you'll be able to tell which Babylon it's talking about. Okay, so it says, read that again.
Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust.
Sit in the dust, meaning you're going to be brought down to a low position, right? Go on.
O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Why is she considered a virgin daughter of Babylon? Because she hasn't really been defiled. When I say that, I mean in the sense of, she hasn't been touched. Okay, like she's going to be touched. Now, it's interesting, right? This virgin daughter of Babylon is also referred to as a whore, the mother of harlots in Revelation, the 18th chapter. Okay, but soon the nation's going to take away that virginity, in a harsh way. It's not going to be the first experience won't be pleasant for Babylon. Okay, when you get pelted with millions of missiles, or warheads annihilating this place, it ain't gonna feel too good.
Hey, that's why the missiles are shaped in the shape of a phallus. Okay, when you look at a missile, I mean, there was this lady. Remember that video of that lady that was talking about she was engaging in activities with her man, and then she ended up slapping the shit out of this nigga's head, and then the lady asked her, why would you slap him? And then she said because she was thinking about, damn, this guy, she said a heat sensing missile. That's what she said. And it's power driving right through her insides, and she's thinking about, like, this nigga go power drive somebody's shit like this? No way. No way. So she got mad and she slapped the shit out of him. But long story short, all right, to say that's the same thing that's going to be happening to America. Okay, those missiles going to be coming down in the shape of a phallus. You see, Russia is like, well, we're going to take her virginity. What's up? Whatchamacallit? Kim Jong-un, he said, nah, I'm going to be part of that. Them niggas that take her virginity too, right? China, they say, oh, we're going to be a part of that, right? Even the weaker nations, and the weaker nations are like, well, we're going to get a taste of this bitch too. Shit, she been a virgin for way too long, So everyone going to get their licks in. Japan, what you did to them niggas don't forget shit. Okay, Japanese people don't forget. And they're going to be a part of that shit. They're going to be, what I'm saying? Like, yo, listen, this is the time. America's going down. Let's take advantage of that. Taking advantage, meaning you're at a weak point and everybody's basically running the train on your ass. All right, 200 million warheads coming down on here. That's a train. That is a train. All right, but in modern day terms, of course. Yeah.
There was a video of this streamer. He was in Japan and he was just going around shouting. How do you call it? Yeah, he kept shouting that. People came and beat him up, then he got arrested afterwards.
Where was he shouting that? Here?
In Japan.
In Japan?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, because they remember that. They remember that. So you don't mess with them, man. Them Ammonites, they got plans for your ass too. Okay. Go on.
Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
I mean, you're gonna be brought down to a low state, right? Go on.
Sit on the ground. There is no throne.
There's no throne, right? Because at one point she was looked at as the lady of kingdom with the golden cup in her hand. So now you're gonna be brought down. There is no throne, meaning your rulership is gonna be taken down. Go on.
O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Yeah, you're not gonna be called tender and delicate. Now that's referring to a woman. A woman that's tender and delicate is desirable. Okay. And when you compare that metaphor to a location, a country, a region, that means that place is desirable. The American dream, it's enticing. All of those things are going to be taken down. Before this place gets destroyed, people are going to see it for what it truly is. A disgusting, sick, dirty place. Okay, full with diseases. Go on.
Take the millstones and grind meal.
Now the millstones are stones. You have basically you can take like two stones, right? You got one and they're circular, like almost like a thick ass disc. Okay? So you got one but this is one example of one. You got one on the bottom, and then the one on top is also another big thick disc. Thick disc just like that. And they usually have a handle on one at the top, and there's a circle right in the middle. So what they'll do is they will pour the green, right? The green that's been harvested and it's been beaten on a threshing floor. They'll take that green, pour it into the circle of the top stone, and then they will turn the stone. So as they're pouring the green through the circle, it's getting crushed underneath the two stones. That's why they grind it. That's how you take a millstone and you grind. And at the same time, they also had this contraption where as they grind the wheat that becomes flour and goes into whatever bowl or whatever it is that they're trying to get in it. And that's how they make their bread and all these different things. Perfect. That's showing that. Yep, right there. See? That's the millstone right there. So you would grab the handle and then you would turn, and you pour the green into that circle, that hole, and you would just grind and grind and grind. Okay? So go ahead.
Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh.
You're gonna be uncovered, right? When you're uncovered, that means that the secret parts of you are revealed, open. See, and whenever that happens, what happens if a woman is out there wearing a dress or a skirt and the wind blows? The first thing she does is she puts her hand down, try to cover her parts. You know, if the wind blows up, you think she's gonna try to cover her kneecaps first? No, she's going straight down here to cover this up, and then maybe she's gonna try to grab the wind from the back too, right? Marilyn Monroe, yep. You know, so but it says make bare, and really we're the ones doing that. Okay, so what we're really doing is when we do these lessons that we expose this place, it's really like we sneaking up behind you and we just lifting it up. You know, we wait for you in public and then we just lifting it up, you know, and try to hold it up too. And you know, that's what we're doing by exposing this place. We're revealing the secret parts. Okay. Go on.
Pass over the rivers.
And then people are seeing some shit that they didn't want to see. They're like, oh shit, what is that? Why does it look purple? You know? and then the odors are coming out. See?
Right.
Then
That's
you find
because
underwear.
right. That's because they believe that America is that pretty. It's like a rumor, you know. Like everybody knows, yo, this girl is mad bad. Yo, she look mad good, bro. Yo, everybody wants her, right? And then you got men that are like, I know that girl. She ain't what you guys are saying she is, bro. Bro, she is dirty. She's nasty. She's like, oh, but she's a virgin. How is she all this? Like, we want a part of that, bro. We want a piece of that, bro. Trust me, bro. She's all destructive. She makes it seem like she really about it, but she's really not, bro. Trust me, she'll manipulate you, she'll kill you, she'll destroy you, she'll poison you. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff. The food that she'll give you, bro, be careful. You don't want to eat that. The water you drink, bro, be careful. The air you breathe, the clothes you wear, bro, trust me, everything she does is to kill you, bro. And they're like, no way. She's delicate. Look how cute she look how pretty. She's always trying to help. Don't you see what she says? She's always the one on the TV telling people, no war, no fighting. But yet she's the one who's going out there and fighting. You don't see that part. We're the ones who are telling you that that's what she's doing. But because they don't see it because of that facade, they see that they're blinded by her beauty. They're taken by her ways. You see, we are the ones who are like, nope, that's this bitch right here. She's a witch. You might want to be careful. You see. So to the people, then of course the girl, she's walking around like, you guys really believe these guys? These guys are crazy. They don't even know me. Keep it moving. They're conspiracy theorists. Oh, they're just crazy. They're just haters. They really hate me. That's what it is. You know, that's all we're seeing now. You know, but it doesn't matter because ultimately, guess what? We are the ones that the Lord has set up to what? To expose this woman, to put her on Broad Street, Front Street. Everybody come see. And then once the Lord has done undressing her, everybody gonna see her nakedness like they did to her Cersei in Game of Thrones. Cersei.
Yeah, Cersei, yeah.
Cersei, yeah. Game of Thrones, same thing. Shame. Because what? Shame is gonna cover thee. Right? Just like how shame is gonna cover the American Babylonian woman is an omen for what's gonna happen to American Babylon the Great herself. Okay, so you're gonna see all that. The Lord is about to make some moves, and we warned everybody. So ain't no excuses. All right, it's all there, it's all happening. You're gonna have to deal with it now. You got it.
Yeah, that walk of shame, man. That shit was disturbing. You know? That's disgusting ass. Go on.
Verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thy shame shall be seen.
Thy shame shall be seen, and that's what's happening. And now, even aside from what we're doing, they're embarrassing themselves with this guy biting us here. You know, I mean, the level that if somebody put a compilation of all the things this guy has done, you know, I think they said he went to some foreign country and partied, fell asleep, making wrong references. You know what I'm saying? This guy is like he's lost, man. He's just completely, embarrassing this so-called country. And these nations are looking at him like, yo, what's up with this guy, man? You know?
You got Snowden from this world, information about the government, classified information.
Mm.
And insiders that tell the truth and somehow, it be coming up to be true.
Right. Yeah.
Well, not the other guy, but another weekly person that they try to find committed treason based upon the information that he island foreign country. I think they exiled him to another country.
They be uncovered on all fronts. What?
Thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Yeah. So ultimately, what's going to happen when the Lord gets ready to take vengeance? He's going to do it in many forms, But the main one is going to be with that fire, and then with sending Yahushua back. And as the scripture said, man, Yahushua, last time he came as a lamb, this time he's coming as a lion, as an angelic force, as a god. He's not coming. He may look like a man, but he's not. He's not a man. He's a god. Like Liu Kang. Liu Kang from the new Mortal Kombat. He looks like a man, but he's a god. Go on.
As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name.
Mm-hmm.
The whole,
and he's the one to redeem us. Okay, meaning to take us out of this position of bondage that we're in. When you go into the law, if you had a family member or kinfolk that was a bond or servant, you would be able to go and redeem them. And so what the Lord is going to pay this place a ransom, but it ain't going to be in money. Okay, it's going to be in the currency that they understand, which is blood. I don't remember off the top, but if you find it, you can bring it out.
Hey, it's
What?
gonna be. You
Yeah.
said it's gonna be the Lord. It's gonna be a language that they understand, which is blood, and blood comes by way of what? Violence, right?
That's it.
Just like we talked about. Remember what we were talking about the word Hamas. Remember in
Yep.
Genesis 6:11.
Yep.
All right, talks about the Most High was upset with the inhabitants of this world because of all the violence that they had caused. Now, when you go to that word violence in the book of Genesis, it's Hamas, which
Yep.
is also known as Hamas, which is violence. And it's just funny how they're using that name now to bring about all this chaos and violence
Right.
that's happening. So,
Right.
just a little thing over there.
Little nugget. That's it. You got it? All right, bring it up.
So, this is Numbers 35 and 33, and I'll read it in the KJV and the NLT.
Okay.
It says, the KJV says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Now, what that's talking about is talking about like murder, okay? Because blood, when you kill an animal, blood comes out, right? Does that mean that they got to find the person who killed the animal and they shed their blood to clean the land? No. When somebody commits wickedness and they got to be put to death, there's blood. Does that mean you got to go find the people, the executors, and put them to death? No. But when you do something like Esau, who came here to the Americas, for example, and massacred these people, then the land is defiled. Okay? Now you need his blood to come and cleanse the land. That's an example.
And says, this will ensure that the land where you live will not be polluted. For murder pollutes the land, and no sacrifice except the execution of the murderer can purify the land from murder.
There you go. There you go. And I believe, as a matter of fact, there is another law that I remembered. This is why it's good. It's good to go into the law. You're supposed to go into the law. We're supposed to know the law. But a lot of Israelites, they're too boring for them. They don't want to hear about the law. Anyways, there's a law that talks about when there's a murder that's been committed. I think and nobody knows who did it. They look at the land. No, it's a different one. This one is they'll look at the land in which the murder was committed in, or the closest region, and then I think they would basically narrow it down by that, and then try to see if they can get somebody out of there. I forget the exact way it was worded, but I remember we went through that. You had a question about it. It'd be a good to go into.
verses 18 and 25 says, and the land is defiled, therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomited out her inhabitants. If I read up to it.
Okay. That's a close one though. But yeah, it talks about that as a way to find out who committed that. So basically, if murder happens and nobody knows who did it, that's one of the ways that they would go about handling that situation. Okay.
This is Leviticus chapter 12. I'm sorry, Leviticus chapter 18, verse 24. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. And the land is defiled, therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomited out her inhabitants. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any strangers that sojourneth among you. For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. The land that spewed not you out also, when ye defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you.
Yeah, that's not it. But basically, it still hits the point, right? So that's pretty much like the precept you brought out. That land cannot be cleansed, but by the blood of him that shed it. And this land, there's some paying to do that Esau got to do. So the Lord's gonna come pay him back. That's why it talks about in Isaiah 63 or 66, I forgot how it's worded, but basically he makes war on righteousness. And that's the outward shot. There you go. That's what the Lord is coming to do. As we're reading up in Isaiah 47, that's how the Lord is coming to redeem us, to pay these people back.
He said, the righteous blood crieth unto you. The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto you. Meaning that when he was slain, his spirit went up there in the heavens and was found like, yo, this guy just killed me. Like, what did I do to him? So imagine all those spirits, even though, yeah, we deserved it during the time of slavery. Imagine all these spirits going up to heaven. It's like, no, like these people just killed us. Look at this side, kids and all this. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, that's right.
I think that also is mentioned in Revelation 6.
Yeah, you can bring it up. About the souls that were crying unto the Lord. Brother put one on here too. GMS, take heed, Israel. Jeremiah 30 and 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. So it ain't gonna be just Esau. He's the primary target, but it ain't gonna be just him. Got it? Perfect. It says, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for prey. So that's why we ain't stressed right now, because the Lord he's going to take action. Okay, so let's bring out what you got, and then we can bring out that instance on it. You got something?
Yeah, quick precept to back up that precept the brother brought out. It's the book of Psalm chapter 83, start off at 1. It says, keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, right? All them that devoured us shall be devoured, right? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance, right? For they have consulted together with one consent, right? A conspiracy to breathe together, right? Conspire, right? One consent together, and have and they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, the Moabites, the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Israel, of the children of Lot, Selah. So you see, like you said, it's not just Esau who's going to get that ass whooping. All these nations, and is written name after name, and Esau is written, Amalek is written, Ishmael is written, Moab is written. Okay, so all these nations that partook in our downfall and continue to prosper from our downfall, you're gonna have to pay back. Okay, the Heavenly Father is gonna question you. Okay, and Esau, Edom, you're gonna have to have some answers, which we know you don't have answers. All right, and you're not gonna circumlocution your way through the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashim Shah either. All right, you got it.
Guys, Shalom.
This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Heavenly Father and for the testimony which they held. And I is talking about John, the Revelator, who was on the mountain. It says verse 10, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, how this is after they were slain. Verse 10 says, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? So they're in the spiritual asking, like, Lord, when are you going to take these people down? When are you going to, like, imagine like a child where it's like, Daddy, when are you going to do this? Are you going to get me this? Are you going to get me that? It's like, hold on, wait a second. Like, give me a moment. I'll get you when I'm ready to. I'll get you when the time is right. So they're eager up there in the heavens, like, look, Lord, like, when are you going to avenge our blood? They did this injustice against us.
Which started with the apostles back then, because John was the last one alive. But also, it's going to apply again in this time because they're gonna also behead the part of the righteous for the testimony of Yahushua. Okay, so that's a good point right there. There's more.
Verse 11 says, and verse 11 says, and white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled.
Right. So that's that sign. But they're calling on to the Lord. So guess what? The Lord got all this on his plate. And when he comes, he has an agenda, a checklist, and a mission to accomplish. And nobody's gonna stand in his way. Got it.
This is Deuteronomy 21:1. If one be found slain in the land, which the Lord thy power giveth thee to possess it, lying in the field, and it be not known who has slain him.
So you don't know who committed the act, who killed this guy.
And thy elders and thy judges shall come forth, and they shall measure unto the cities which are round about him that is slain. And it shall be that the city which is next to the spot, and it shall be that the city which is next unto the slain man, even the elders of that city shall take an heifer.
So basically, what they're gonna do is, if they see a dead body out in the field, and nobody knows who killed this person, they're gonna measure and see what is the closest city to this body, and then the elders of that city, go ahead,
which have not been wrought.
So they're gonna take a heifer, which is a cow, I think it's a female cow. Go on.
Which have not been wrought with, and which have not drawn in the yoke.
Right, which has not been wrought. So you haven't done any work. You haven't done any work. You haven't done any work with that heifer. All right, you haven't put it under a yoke. It hasn't plowed. It hasn't done any of that stuff. Nice, thick, fresh, fat heifer. All right, go on.
And the elders of that city shall bring down the heifer unto a rough valley, which is neither eared nor sown.
So this is a valley that nobody is planting nothing in or none of that stuff. Go on.
And shall strike off the heifer's neck there in the valley.
So you're gonna kill the heifer. You're gonna cut his head off. Go on.
And the priests and the sons of Levi shall come near. For them the Lord thy power have chosen to minister unto him, and to bless in the name of the Lord. And by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. And the elders of that city that are next unto the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. And they shall answer and say, our hands have not shed this blood, neither have our eyes seen it.
So they're gonna basically, it's like being under oath almost, to say, all right, we had no part to this, we didn't slay this guy, we don't know who did, end the story. So they're gonna wash their hands of that blood. Go on. I got you in a minute. Go on.
And they shall answer and say, our hands have not shed this blood, neither have our eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Lord, unto thy people Israel, whom thou hast redeemed, and lay not innocent blood unto thy people of Israel's charge.
Yeah, because then that's somebody has committed murder, and somebody got paid for it, right? Go on.
And the blood shall
real
be
quick.
forgiven them.
Real quick, that's heavy because then now you understand the kind of judgment that's going to befall the 2/3 for the murder of Yahushua. because you murdered an innocent person. So you can understand why there's going to be that kind of judgment. It's by the law. You broke the law. Okay, you put an innocent man to death. You shed innocent blood. You shed the most important blood to shed. What you know?
Mhm.
So hey, that's it right there.
Yeah. Done. Done.
So shalt thou put away the guilt of innocent blood from among you.
There you go. So you see how specific the Lord is when it comes to that. This is the actual ritual that you have to go through if an innocent blood was shed or if an innocent man was killed. And what it means by that is this guy hasn't done anything to warrant him being murdered or put to death, really, according to the law. So that means somebody murdered him. All right. That was it on that? I know you had, okay, finish on that and then before I know you had to say.
When thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord.
All right. Good stuff. Go on.
All right, quick precept. One of the famous areas, most popular. This is Revelation 13, from 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. There is the patience and the faith of the saints. All that sort out to commit murder and kill unrighteously, they're going to be killed righteously. They're going to see the sword themselves.
Yeah. And see, and that stops the cycle of violence, right? Because today, say you have like a gang, right? One person kills one person from this gang, they come back and get revenge. They come back and get revenge. They come back and get revenge. And it just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now you got gang wars. But in the scriptures, if you commit murder, the people that put you to death, what you gonna come kill them? Because they're not committing murder. They're executing judgment. And that's why there's a difference there. Okay? Anyway, you got that, Elma? Oh yeah, we're gonna come back to that. That's gonna link up. That's gonna link up here. Matter of fact, bring it out now. You can bring it out.
This is Psalm 137 and 7. It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Now, what's this talking about? This is talking about when the Babylonians came. Okay, when they came up against us and they basically did that destruction, the Edomites helped them. And the Edomites, after they did that, the Edomites took some of our city. And then that's why they said, raise it, raise it. Raise doesn't mean not R-A-I-S-E, but R-A-Z-E, raise, destroy it, all the way down, level it. Okay? Even to the foundation thereof. You want to talk about your brother, right? Go on.
Verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us.
O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. And that was, is that something? That was link up with what we just read in Isaiah 47. Yep. That was pretty much it that I went on that. Let's go back to Isaiah.
Isaiah 47 and 4. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name.
Mhm.
The Holy One of Israel.
Hear that? The Lord of hosts. That means something, right? He is the Lord of hosts. Hosts meaning army. Okay? Everything is the part of the Lord's host. Everything. Go on.
Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdom. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance.
Which are the Israelites, right? And how did the Lord do that? Putting us into captivity under these other nations to where we went off, started worshiping other idols. And on top of that, the land that the Lord gave us. It's polluted. It's very polluted right now. All right. Go on.
A quick precept to back up that last verse there. Now you could bring that back real quick.
Isaiah 47 and 6. I was
Five.
wroth with my people.
Five.
So five. Isaiah 47 and 5. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms.
Right. That shall no longer be called the Lady of Kingdoms, meaning what? You're not gonna be looked at as that prestigious country everybody want to be with no more. Right? Your excellency is gonna be brought low. Okay. The one thing, democracy, your economy, all right, your money, your fashion, your lifestyle, your culture, your influence, all that shit is dying. Okay. Quick precept. This is a book of Isaiah, chapter 13, and verse 19. It says, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited," right? Because right now, America is the one place that everybody wants to come to, right? It's always been that way for since America's inception. Okay, you have different people from different countries that came over here. The very concept of America as it is was based on people coming over here to build some type of inheritance, right? The so-called founding fathers and so on and so forth, right? So that was the foundation that America was built on. You can come over here and establish yourself and go back to your land, right? So it says, "It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there," meaning all these businesses. You got the 7-Elevens, you got the Walmarts, you got all these different companies that set up over here to make money. They're not going to be doing that no more. Okay? These trades and all this stuff, you're not going to be having trade no more. Okay, because that's the essence of the Arabians' pitch and tent. The Arabians, when you go back into the ancient world, they had their camels and so on and so forth. And as they migrate, they'll pitch their tent. They'll stop for a while. They'll engage in
Merchantmen.
what's that?
They were merchantmen.
Merchantmen. There
Most
you
of them,
go.
yeah.
Oh, merchantmen. Exactly. You know. So it says, "Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged." Okay, that's the time. That's why what we should have healed Babylon, but she will not be healed. Okay, you're no longer gonna be known as delicate and tender and all this tendency and all this shit. It's all dead. So I'm not. You got it from there.
Gone. Beautiful point. Keep going.
Isaiah 47:6. I was wroth for my people.
Meaning the Lord's angry with us. And who are the Lord's people? The Israelites. Go on.
I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand.
Into thine hand, right? Just talking about the daughter of Babylon. Today, the America. Go on.
And thou didst show them no mercy.
And I mean, anybody here could tell you that. Even the way we got here, it was merciless. And the way we've been treated since we got here has been completely merciless. Go on.
Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart.
Yeah. So really, they showed us the all inclusivity back then. They didn't care whether you were old or young or child or whatnot. No discrimination. Those cuffs, those whips, the punishments. They didn't discriminate. Okay.
Neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Read that part, that verse again.
And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever.
Meaning that what? She was going to be at the top. Okay? She was going to be that mistress in a high position. Because remember, it's a she, right? Go on.
So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart.
You didn't consider these things. Go on.
Neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Which was that you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be taken out of power. You're going to be destroyed. And your inhabitants, really your elites, they're going to go into captivity. Because they're the ones who really give life to this place. Right? They're the puppeteers. Go on.
Therefore, hear now this. Thou art given to pleasures.
And that's what you see here. Everything here is about pleasures. It's not about discipline. It's not about wisdom. It's about pleasures at all costs. Okay? Go on.
That dwellest carelessly. That sayest in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Yeah, meaning that they don't expect that any disastrous event is going to happen, any catastrophic event is going to happen here that's going to cause an example of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but over here where you have like an insanely large amount of casualties. Because if they had that in mind, the people here would be living in a more careful way. You know.
Hey, that's oh, Salaki, you got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the same philosophy and mindset they've put on the women over here. All right, literally, the women over here embody America's way of living. Okay, that's why they don't think any harm could happen to them. They're the lady of kingdoms. Something so fine. How can anything bad happen to me? We're so powerful. We're so strong. We're so good. You know, strong and independent. You know, we can handle on our own shit. Well, the Lord is saying something else. All right, quick precept real quick, and I'll pass it over to you, Shalom. All right, it's the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts,
Hmm.
that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. All right, this is also written in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, when it goes into the judgment, all right, that befalls America, Babylon the Great. So there's the reason why you get judged because of your ways and your philosophies, man. It says, verse 5, behold, I am against thee. Isaiah 47 is talking about that. That's why we're reading that. Okay? Saith the Lord of hosts, all right, Yahweh Sabaoth, okay, and will discover thy skirts upon thy face. Lifting up the skirt, okay, exposing you. What's that? Second Thessalonians, the second chapter, the man of sin being revealed. Okay, it says, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness. That's what's happening right now. Okay, none of these countries take America serious anymore because they see everything that's wrong with this country. Okay, that they were led to believe was actually right. You know, it says what? And the kingdoms thy shame. Okay, and you see all this LGBT no IQ shit today. Here it is. You got this whole Israel thing going on. You got people actually fighting for their lives, and yet you got America over here talking about people are protesting in college because of tampons being removed from a man's bathroom. Yes. Tampons being removed from a man's bathroom has sparked outrage on one of these colleges and shit. Meanwhile, people out here getting ready for World War III. It shows you again. That's
So,
again the the shame of America. It's completely ridiculous, you know. And it's to the point where these other nations are seeing it. They're like, yo, these people, man, we can't reason with these fucking assholes, man. They fucking retarded as shit, you know. Verse 6, it says, and I'll cast abominable filth upon thee. That's what you're seeing now. Okay, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And it starts with your goddamn robotic president over there, known as Biden. Okay, barely there, Biden. It says, and it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee. Okay, so that he may run that readeth it. Okay, so that's what's happening. It says what, and it's all being done by way of the prophets. It says, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Nineveh is just another way of saying America. All right, is another title. All right, for America. Okay, it says, who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for her? Okay, Revelation 18. Okay, those are the merchants who are going to be standing afar off and weeping. Oh, Babylon, Babylon, the great is fallen. You know, and we're gonna be up, Lord willing, the elect of the nation of Israel. We're gonna be up, looking down on America's destruction and praising and thanking Yahweh by Shem Shai, because now it's the beginning of eternal rest. Okay, finally, righteousness is finally about to be taking over the whole entire earth. Okay, and these devils and their wicked plans are going to be what? To be done away with, just like in the time of Esther. Same thing is happening. Same result is going to happen again. You're not going to get around it, Esau. You're not. Never, never have you gotten around it. Never will you get around it. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and your judgment is imminent. All right? You got it,
what
Shalom.
precept was that?
Oh, that's our Nahum, the 3rd chapter, the 4th
Nahum
verse.
3?
Yeah,
The water.
gone.
You got it, Shalom.
Oh, yeah, I mean, pretty much, I was just going to agree with what the brother said. Like, when you go through Isaiah 47, yeah, it's talking about the elite. You could also apply that to the people because the people have the same mindset. Now, I'll use this. All right? Yeah. It's Sirach chapter 10, verse 2. It says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So Esau Edom has what? A wicked mindset. Scripture says what? He's perverse. Right? His mind is contrary to the Heavenly Father. So he's created a society to where what? The minds of the people are also contrary, that are also perverse to the Heavenly Father. So therefore, how he rules and how wherever he puts within the earth they're also going to follow that same thing. So if he puts within wickedness, the people are also going to follow wickedness as well. So therefore, like when you read Isaiah 47, like I'm saying, or like the brother was saying, yeah, it definitely applies to the elite, but it also applies to the people. Because when you keep reading through it, it says like stand down with thine enchantments and things like that. Yeah, that's speaking to the elites, but you can apply that to the people. Because look, the people are not leaving from the wickedness. You have people that are leaving church, and some of them are finding out that they're Israelites, but some of them are going into what? Witchcraft and all this. I believe the brother Aaron did the video on I think she was a Disney Channel chick, Vanessa Hudgens or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
She get into witchcraft,
Oh,
all
really?
that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? They're standing out there church instead of seeing things like, yo, now is the time for God. Let's not do it. Maybe it wasn't working. No, they're gonna keep going into it.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people that used to be on the Disney shows, they get turned out. You know, look at Miley Cyrus. She ain't turned out right. She turned out left. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Read a couple more verses, then we wrap it up.
Isaiah 47:9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day.
Yeah, so you're thinking that nothing's going to happen to you, no casualties, you're going to be all good. Well, the Lord says it's going to come to you in one day. He's going to hit you all with the ultimate boom at once.
Well, that's just also for the people. Because people, we're telling them what these things that happen, nothing's gonna happen. So what? These things shall also come upon you as well.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, guess what? The land is really the people, right? What makes the land wicked? Not the land itself. America, this land of North America wasn't wicked before now. It was fine. It was fine. But now it's not.
That's why it said that the Lord, the land cannot be touched except by him that
But of him that shed it. Yep. So he's the one who polluted it by doing that act. You see?
The land. You gotta get out the problem. The land is not the problem. The people are the problem. Same thing like what? During the time of Joshua. What was the problem? The land was not the problem. It was the people that was inhabiting the land that was doing those bogus works. Get them out of there.
What?
The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee.
You gotta get
perfection.
Barbelo on his ass. And Barramento. And what's the other guy? All three of them. You gotta get all three of them on their ass. Hey, but guess what? If they don't stop playing around, they might see Barbelo in the time of Dick's trouble. You know, you were calling me, right? I'm here. And you gonna bring out the boys.
Hey, what's that? The demons with Shiva. He said,
Yeah,
Paul
yeah.
I know, Yahushua I know, Paul I know, but who the fuck are you?
Who are you? Yep.
Yeah. So that's gonna happen. That's
That's
gonna
it.
happen.
What's the other guy? Abara Kabu?
Grandma Kamar.
Grandma Kabar. Yeah, he gonna come. He gonna come down too. They all gonna come pay you a visit. You been calling them so much. Go on. Fuck around and call the wrong name, and you got the wrong spirit. Cause they did. They listening. You know, they listening. Go on.
The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorcery.
Hear that? In their perfection. So think of the destruction that's gonna hit like a famine. A famine is bad, but a famine in its perfection means that it's gonna have mass casualties. You know, a pathogen, right? A disease is bad, but it coming in its perfection, meaning that it's gonna come to do massive damage. Okay, go on.
And for the great abundance of thine enchantment.
Yeah, so all the sorceries and stuff that you've done, this is what the Lord is going to repay you with, because you used it to do wickedness. The scriptures say that thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. These niggas built a society off of witchcraft. So what do you think is going to happen to them? And then they kidnapped us and brought us here. They stole us and brought us here against our will, made us serve other gods. So the Lord got something heavy for your ass. Yep.
So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American states have been troubled in this land. And you think that the Heavenly Father's not seeing all that, and it's just like, just forgive and forget, love your enemies, let bygones be bygones. Like, no, that's a lot of blood that was shed here upon the land, and there was no justice given to the people.
It ain't gone. It's still here. You know, the Lord says He requires that which is fast. Because see, time is a concept that affects us, but time does not affect the Lord. He deals with events. That's why He deals with prophecy. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. But did He ever give us a time? No, He just said the end. The end is really a point that He says this, and that is going to happen. When I say this is going to happen, that's when it's going to happen. But He ain't say, you know, December 23rd, 2023, this is going to take place. No. Okay, because the Lord He doesn't dwell in time. But guess what? He requires that which is fast. So He can look back and say, you did this, you did this, you did this. Oh no, but that was years ago. I don't give a damn. You did it. Did you not? Well, yeah, you did. So that's it. End the story. What else you got? Maybe like one or two more verses, and we can close it up.
Verse 10.
Mhm.
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness,
Which they do. Go on.
thou hast said, none seeth me.
Mhm.
Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee.
Mhm.
And thou hast said in thine heart, I am none else beside thee.
Yeah, and that's that pride. That's that God complex that they have. You know, like they're there. There's nobody else that can compete with them. You know, they're the new God in town. Yeah, okay. Go on.
Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth.
Yeah. Let's finish that verse and then we wrap it up on that. But as it says, thou shalt not know from whence it rises, right? Because you're gonna think you're in control up until you're not. And then the calamities get out of control, and no longer is it controlled opposition, but it's real opposition.
And mischief shall fall upon thee.
Mhm.
Thou shalt not be able to put it off,
Mhm.
and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly.
And that's exactly what we're getting ready to see in this shit. And that's why it's gonna be a time like never before. You know, all out chaos that they're not gonna be able to control or put off. So on that? All right, go ahead.
Which thou shalt not know.
Thou shalt not know. All right, that's pretty much it on that. Anybody got anything else?
The last two verses that the brother just read, kind of like generate rebellion to the Lord, speaking about how proud they are, and what shall happen to them. Hopefully, they should be brought down.
Right? You got something, Aaron? All right, cool. All right, so with that, Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. You know, as the title states, man, be very careful in these times. You know, and also when you do these lessons, always remember what the goal is. You know, when you're doing these lessons, okay, it's not to be too much opinionated, but more so speaking what the scriptures say. Because now we're at the point where the scriptures say they make a man an offender for a word. So if you're not careful, if you don't stick with the scriptures and you steer too far off into your vain opinion, you go say the wrong thing and they come for your ass. You know, obviously you're gonna be bold in speaking righteousness, but use wisdom. You know, if you're dealing with a certain event, deal with that event. Because guess what? If they come out and they tell you, yo, they're doing all these anti-Sem, all these things, right? And they say, look, anybody that we catch as a potential, you know, anti-Sem or potential jihadist, we're gonna come for them. And here it is, you jump on camera, instead of reporting on what's going on and bringing out the scriptures concerning, you talking about, I love seeing this, man. Look, man, I'm totally with these, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I can't wait to see that. Guess what? You're gonna get that knock on your door, you know, and now they're gonna come see you. You know, but anyway, hey, you know, as the scriptures say, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So we're not here looking for trouble. We're not troublemakers. We're prophets. And there's a certain job that's been placed upon us, and there's a certain message that we're supposed to teach. All right. So anyway, with that, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.
Shalom to the elect. Shalom. Yabashmi Osha Brakatham.
Shalom.